this is all in my workbook as well. The workbook is meant to be a workbook. It's meant for worship teams to go through together. It's very interactive. The core team, that's the people who are supposed to be working on worship all the time, all year round, right? Staff and whoever else can. This model is based on the fact that there are very few people who can say that they'll serve on a worship team all year round. We're busy. And so you end up having the same people all the time, right? So we want to get more different voices involved. But there is going to be a core team, staff, existing worship support that's supposed to be working on it all the time. They're our core team. Then the second tier is a thematic or seasonal team. These are people who are going to commit to one chunk of time, to helping plan one series of services, one chunk of time. There's a beginning to it, there's an end to it, right? It's not a forever and ever time commitment. And there are people who have busier times of the year than others, and so hopefully can pull stuff. So if you have let's say you have a core team, even in the very smallest churches, you might have two, right? A music person and a minister. Let's use a sort of medium size. Let's say you have three in your core team. Well, even if you just double that and you have 6 people working on a chunk of time, that's a good amount of people. That's a great number of people to work together. That's a great way to share the task. The third tier is an extended team. The extended team is a one-night commitment to a brainstorming party. That's all it is, one-night commitment. It at least gets us to involve more people in the process. So let's say we have 6 on the seasonal team and they each invite 12 at a brainstorming party. That's terrific. So you're going to have this brainstorming party not in your church building, because then it starts to feel like a committee meeting. No. You have it at somebody's house and you have food. It's a party, right? Now what we're looking for in the end, after the brainstorming, is a theme, a message, a central core message that's deep and rich and full enough to last for a chunk of time, right? Some sort of theme, message, and then however long your chunk of time is that you've decided, 4, 6, whatever, ways to flesh that out. Okay, let's look at some examples. Let's go to the next slide. So here's a starting point, a theme from a particular context. I did a conference last year called Healthy Churches. Oi. How do you do worship around healthy churches? So I put together an ad hoc brainstorming team of health professionals that I knew. And we just started brainstorming around health. I mean, what comes to you when you think healthy? And when they said vital signs, I went, that's it. That is it, vital signs. And so vital signs was the theme message. What are the signs of a vital congregation? And then we played it out in 4 different ways. The first one, we based it on the 4 vital signs, right? Those of you who are health professionals know that it's breath and heartbeat and pulse and temperature, right? So breathe deep was the first one. Are we breathing deep? And is the Spirit alive in us? Was the first one. Finger on the pulse. Are we connected to each other? We used a lot of rhythm, heartbeat, talking about heartbeat and rhythm. Are we connected? A vital congregation is connected, feels connected. The third one was coursing through our veins. What are we passionate about? A vital congregation, a healthy church, is passionate about something and is living it out, right? So that was the third service. And then core blessings. You call taking a temperature taking the core temperature. And so we talk, what at the core is the blessing of this community? How can we affirm the blessings of this community and the blessings of the people in the community? So you see, we had that theme and then the ways we fleshed it out. That's what we're looking for. This is probably not new to you, but just hopefully affirming some of what you already know about planning for chunks of time. You can start with a song or a text or a poem. This is a song called Take This Moment. A lot of songs, they're built this way, right? They have a title and then they have different stanzas that flesh it out. So sometimes you can use a song as the sort of structure for your time. Take this moment to be with each other, to mend and heal, to forgive, to love, to give. Okay, friends, we're going to stop. Actually, no, one more thing. Let me just say, sorry, I can't leave this out because this is important. What we tend to do is then divide the seasonal team up into first Sunday, second Sunday, third Sunday, fourth Sunday. No, because what happens is then it starts to pull apart, right? It starts to take on, what we want to keep doing is looking at the season as a whole, right? Looking at the chunk of a time as a whole. So following, Howard Gardner or different senses, you're going to have people in different interest groups. Music, people are going to comb music, of course, with music staff, looking for things, looking for songs that would be great with the theme. This is after you've chosen the theme and how it's going to... Visuals, people who want to work on visuals, how is the space going to help us send the message? Folks who are verbal linguistic, who would love to pore over, looking for poems, looking for readings, looking for all that stuff, who love words, that's their thing. Dramatizing, maybe this particular week, it would be great to have this skit or this drama or this dance or this whatever it is. Action response. These are those folks who are the more logical, mathematical, that would like to see connections between everything. They say, how can we get religious education in on something about how can what we do in the world, how can we connect some sort of giving project, mission project, whatever you want to call it, how can we connect that to our theme? These are the people who want to see this theme played out in the whole life of the church.